Hello, everybody. We'll see who jumps in here, but I'm gonna just go live here for about an hour. Been trying to go live every day, or at least like 4 days a week. I think John Alonzo is gonna start going live with me, which is exciting. And if you guys were with us the last couple days, we had Jeremy on, obviously the literal goat of all goats. So that was really cool to sit next to him and just kind of converse with him and listen to his ideas and thoughts on the market. But yeah, today I'm just going to kind of go over more Apex stuff. I'm going to go ahead and log on in here to my Apex. Give me 2 seconds. All right. I'm going to connect. I started a fresh account yesterday. Made about 1,500 in it, which was exciting, halfway to target. So let's go over today a little bit, okay? So if you traded today, I don't usually trade the first hour. That's just me, okay? So this right here, I wouldn't have traded any of this. And then, yeah, so that brings us to 10:30. Then we came down. And if I throw on my pink line, which is the 50 EMA on the 1 hour, we're well above that. So I'd only be looking for longs. And we had a nice setup right here. Get in here, stop below there, target. I usually go for 1.3, so I wouldn't have actually made it. That would have been a heartbreaker. But I probably would have. Let me see here. I would have come up, move my stop, come up, move my stop, come down, move my stop. So yeah, I would have gotten stopped right here for like 0.3 loss. No big deal. If you're trading right now, so the next setup I would have taken would have been, because that wouldn't have triggered, would have been right here. So you'd be in this trade right now. My stop probably would have gone somewhere around here, which looks like a scary candle came in. But yeah, hopefully this works out for you. And what I'll do, just for the sake of this, is I will throw in it probably is too late to get in now, but I will go ahead and throw in a limit buy right. It looks like it's already taken off, but we might get a retest here. Maybe it'll slam into this resistance and come back down to here. So what I'll do is, since I'm kind of chasing it, I'll take this on the MNQs. So if you're going to chase a trade, I recommend going half size. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to throw in 5, and let's see how far away that is. That's my stop would be there. 66 points. 66 points times 2 times 5. Risking about $600. That sounds about right. So let's see if I get filled here. Trade looks something like this for me. Yeah. You could even trim a little bit at the high, like there, if you want to exit a partial. But let's see if I get filled here. In the meantime, let's chat it up with the community. What do you guys been trading today? Talk to me. What has everyone been trading today? And are there any Apex questions? How have you guys been enjoying Apex? Who in here is funded? Who in here is still working on getting funded? Type it in. Let me know. Let me know. Where you guys at with it? Ivo, Jerome. How have we been enjoying it right now? go look at some other tickers while we wait for this to maybe fill us. Oil. I haven't looked at oil in a while. Okay, interesting. So we're coming back up to test the 200. It's kind of cool. Looks like we bounced sort of off the weekly, and oh wow, yeah, so that monthly right there. Let me see platinum. Platinum on the daily. Man, should have bought that one. I was thinking about it and I didn't. When we came down and tapped this 200, you know what I mean? We did it back here and ran, and that would have worked. Oh man, I'm kicking myself because that would have been, that would have been good. That would have been like a $1,500 win at least. Probably would have taken it off there at the 100. So 30 points, 30 times 50, yeah, like $1,500. Yeah. And my stop, I probably would have had my stop pretty low, maybe down here, risk like $2,000, because then we'd be below that low. Man, that would have been a good one. Messed that one up, guys. Missed that one. I've been really busy traveling lately, so you know, that's my lame ass excuse why I didn't do it. But oh yeah, that was good right there. A break right on the 200, a trend line break right on the 200. I mean, you don't it doesn't get better, it doesn't get much better than that. Kind of kicking myself over here. You could also take PPLT, which is an ETF, if you want to trade it with shares. It's a little ETF I discovered, pretty cool. So I could have pyramided it into like call options on PPLT. I think they have options. Don't quote me on that, but let's see here. With Apex, are there extra fees to using TradingView? Do I need to pay for live data on TradingView? No, you do not. So with Apex, when you sign up, you get live data thrown in for free, and you get TradingView linking for free. And when you log into TradingView, you're going to get that live data ported over from Tradeovate. So it's actually a pretty sweet deal. Jerome is new here. He doesn't know much about this. Okay, well, let's talk about it, Jerome. So, Jerome, what I'm going to do, just for you, is I'm going to go ahead and flip over real quick to display capture, and then I'm going to come over here to Apex Trader Funding, and this is what we're talking about, man. This is the website, okay? And basically what you do is you sign up, all right? And then, do you know what a prop firm is? So a prop firm basically is you take a test. So you would sign up for one of these tests. It's kind of like an evaluation to see how good of a trader you are. So you can start with the 25K account, and you're trying to get to $1,500 profit. And if you get there, then you pay a fee, like $100, I think. And then they give you a live 25K account, a real 25K account. And if you grow that account, you can take payouts. Now there's rules you have to follow and stuff. There's this trailing threshold. Basically, in real time, there's a trailing stop following your profits. So you can't really have too many pullbacks or drawdowns. You got to be careful. You got to trim and trail and sell into strength. And you got to learn how to trade in prop firms, because it's a little different than trading in an actual account. But it's really cool because you get access to all this capital, and you can use our code REAL and get like, I think it's like 70% off. It's pretty sweet. So a lot of people in here doing that, and like I said, you get the real-time data that was just asked included for free. It's a $55 value. You know, you get the TradingView compatibility. It's really, really cool. And yeah, you can open up to 4 minis or 40 micros in here. So that's kind of how it works. There's really cool videos on the site to explain the drawdown rules. So I suggest watching those before you hop in. But yeah, I mean, you could technically pass this in one day, get a funded account, and then you're off to the races, man. It's pretty cool. I definitely recommend you trying it at least once. I think it's literally, with our discount, I think it's literally like $20 or like $30 to sign up for a test, and you can just kind of mess around in there and try things. And And what's cool too is you can link up to 20 accounts. So let's say you bought 5 of these, or let's just say 4. You bought 4 25K accounts. You link them in Tradeovate, and when you take a trade in one, it takes them in all of them. So that's kind of cool too. You'll notice that the profit and trailing threshold here is 1-to-1, and those start to get a little further apart. Like if you go up to the 100K account, for example, now it's a 2-to-1. So these bigger accounts are harder to pass. I kind of stick to the 25s and the 50s. Sometimes I'll try for 100K, but these first 4 are pretty easy to pass in my opinion. How much capital do I trade with? Like in Apex or in, are you talking about in my normal account? Because those are kind of 2 different things. I'm going to switch back over to TradingView here. All right, cool. In my Apex account, I usually have a few accounts running, a couple 25s and a 50, so about 100K. In my normal account, I trade around PDT level, so, around that 25K area is how much I kind of deploy when I'm trading, and then I'll just pay myself. I usually am profitable about 3, 4, 5K a month, and then I'll just withdraw it, stick it in my bank account, and use it to pay my rent and stuff, which has been really nice. It took me a while to get there, but I'm finally consistent in that way. So you can see on the Qs, we just bounced off the 100. Really no surprise. We always bounce off the 100 or the 200 usually. You saw it back here. So this could just rip now. I'm in calls, or if it wants to, we could roll over one more time to the 200, where I will absolutely load the boat like crazy because that is just such a good buying opportunity. But we pulled back pretty good here. Let's see. Almost 10% on the Qs. That's a good pullback, guys. That's a really good pullback. So if we get a 10 EMA setup here on the daily, meaning if we get a bear candle closing above the 10, I will get in a little more above that. Or if we get a retest back into here, I might add some more calls. But just knowing that we could go down to the 200, so I have a lot more capital to add if we get down into here. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been looking at. I bought NVIDIA yesterday off the blue line as well. Absolutely ridiculous. Just literally tapped it. I bought right at 103, and today it's up. Oh my gosh, what is NVIDIA up today? 12%. Kind of crazy. Wish I would have bought more, but jumped in some shares of that. How long it took you to get there? To what? To paying my rent every month? Like making 3, 4, 5 grand extra a month? I'll be honest with you, it took me about 4 years. It took me about 4 or 5 years. I started trading late 2019. I was in a lot of different groups. I tried a lot of different strategies. I had to work on my mindset a lot. But now I really just stick to my system. And my system is pretty darn simple. It's all about finding the system that works for you. So the system that I use, I have 3 systems, okay? I've got a long-term system, a swing system, and a day trade system. I'll start with my long-term system, okay? And here's all it is. And this is not my strategy. I read this out of a book. But basically, all I do for my long-term is I buy the QQQ, a dollar cost average, meaning, every month I throw $500 or $1,000 into it. And as long as we stay above this red line, I stay long. If we close below the red line, I go into cash. So let's look at what that means for my account. So you would have gotten long here, and you would have gotten into cash there. So you would have captured about 80%. Then for all of this, you're in cash. Cash is a position. And then you would have gotten back into your position here. And if we go all the way to today, you're up 60%. So up 70%, up 60%. Okay, and you can keep going back and seeing how this worked. So let's see here. On this one, you would have made 13%. Okay. This you would have been about break even. This one, oh my goodness, look at this, dude. 60% across those years. So you can see how this can compound in a long-term account. 60, 1%, 13, 80, 60. It's like with returns like that, and if you're DCAing, your account's going to grow really fast. So that is what I do for my long terms. Any questions there? Do we have any questions there? Okay. And that's in a Roth IRA. So I'm not worried about, capital gains tax or anything because I'm in a Roth. Now, for my swings, what I primarily do, and I'll go back to the QQQ, is I wait for price to get to either the blue or the red line. I'll play off both of them. But I like to draw pyramids over these lines. So something like that. You know what I mean? And I always make sure the moving average is in the middle. And I'll just scale in. Buy a little there, a little more, a lot more, a ton. And then when a bounce comes, I sell. Same thing, little bit, medium, a lot, a giant amount. And when it rips, I mean, it's up to you how long you want to hold, but that's what I do to generate cash flow from a swing perspective. Now, on day trading perspective, day trading, I run the 10 EMA. Okay. The 10 EMA is pretty simple. Okay. Did I get filled on that trade? I didn't. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, I was just late getting on the live, but whoever got in this did great. But I'll show you an example. So what the 10 EMA is you're looking for the first bear candle closing above the 10, and you just get in right above that. So in this circumstance, you had a bear candle there and another one following it. I put my entry right above that. Boom, it gets filled. Stop. I usually put below a couple really strong bull candles, and I just target 1.3. So you saw that worked pretty well there. Pretty darn well. Okay. And the same is true if you want to do the opposite way. So you would find the first bull candle closing under the 10. That one's not really closing. This one is. Either one would have worked though. You just wait for the break and you target 1.3, and you can see it eventually made it down there. You would have had to really been patient and hold. If you got it up here, that's even faster. So, yeah. Yep. That's the 10 EMA. It works a lot. Let's go to yesterday and see how yesterday worked. I mean, yesterday was crazy. I mean, you can just see a bull candle closing below. You get in below that, flush. And then the trade I took yesterday was right here. So first bear candle closing above the 10. Stop there. Target 1.3. Boom. Hit. That one hit really fast. Today would have been a little choppy. You might have gotten chopped up in here. It just depends how patient you were. But yeah, it works a lot. I have another day trade strategy I teach as well, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much info right now because I just dropped like 3 strategies on you in like 3 minutes. So is there any one that you want to go over in particular? Scott, after you've gone to cash and want to get back in, do you still DCA bulk of capital or put in most? I mean, literally, dude, what I like to do, going back to the swing strategy, or no, I'm sorry, the long-term strategy. So, daily moving averages, I'll take off that 100. So what I do is, I'm not DC. Well, here's the thing. I'm still DCAing cash into my account during this. Like I'm still putting a $500 or $1,000 into the account all through these months. I'm just not buying any stock because I'm just in cash. And then as soon as I get back in here, I just literally take all the cash and just buy back into the Qs. And then continue my DCA. Now, in a circumstance like this, where I get close to it, but it doesn't close below it, if I have the cash, I will add a little more sometimes here. So if I'm usually like DCing like 500 or 1,000 a month, if I get near the 200, I will try to put like $2,000 in, you know what I mean? Like a little more, just because we're near it. Because a lot of times we'll get near it and bounce. We won't even close below it. You see that all the time. Like we got near it there, right? And it just continues to go. So these are good spots to add a little more than usual. So that's kind of cool. And sometimes you're going to have to do a couple opens and closes. Like for example, on this day, we closed below it. I went into cash. Okay. And then this day, we closed above it. So I went into stock. The next day, we closed below it. I went into cash. This day, ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one. They may have gone back into stock and then back into cash here. So sometimes there are these little like, but this doesn't happen very often. But when it does, I just follow my rules. Same thing here. Cash, stock, cash, you know what I'm saying? But eventually it works pretty well. And, you get these long runs and that makes up plenty for these little, I mean, we're talking, on those days when you get that chop, I mean, you're losing 1 or 2%, right? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal when you get like 60% runs, right? So. Yes, the swing strategy will work in any market. The Nifty. Let's check it out. Okay, so the Nifty. Let's turn on the 100 and the 200. Yeah, man. Totally. You can see how it's respecting it, right? Like, pyramid there worked. Pyramid there worked. Pyramid there worked. Oh my gosh, look at this one. So, pretty cool. It works the other way too. When you're below them, right? When we were in the bear market, you can do an inverted pyramid. So, pretty cool. There's another one. That one's insane. So good. So, that's the COVID crash right there. Yeah, this works pretty much on anything, I'll be honest. It's really, really powerful. You could name almost any stock or asset, and it works a lot. It doesn't work as much on commodities, just because commodities chop a lot, but it works there too. But yeah, it just works really well in general. I mean, you can even go to like, Solana is a really big one right now that people are trading in the crypto world, and you can see just recently, I mean, that worked. That worked. And sometimes you're gonna have to hold these for a while, but it works a lot. So if Solana pulls back to here, what do you think I'm gonna do? Well, probably do a pyramid right there and hope for the bounce. See what I'm saying? So, Scott, I'm not DCAing into shares, but I'm still putting the cash in my account every month. So I'm in cash, right? When we're under the 200, I'm in cash. I'll show you again. So when we're under the 200, I'm in cash. So for all of this, I'm in cash, right? So I have no stock. I'm not holding any stock during all this. Just my entire account's in cash. But every month, I'm still putting $500 to $1,000 of cash into the account so that when we get to here, I just buy all the stock back, right? And I still have even more cash to do it with. Because you want to buy low, right? You want to sell high. So yes, I'm still adding cash all in here, just not buying stock. And then when I'm up here, I'm DCing in, but just buying stock. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, sir? All right, what do you guys want to go over right now? Anything you guys want to go over? Let me know. I'm gonna just kind of go through my watch list here, and man, what a green day! Every single thing on my list is green. Love that. Let's check out Tesla, huh? Ooh, me likey. So guys, Tesla. I'm gonna go to the weekly moving averages for a second. So what I did was I started a pyramid. I want to say it was right around, I think I actually started it up here. Maybe it was a little lower, maybe 240. Started buying around 240, and the pyramid looked like that. So both moving averages running through it. If you flip to the daily, you can also see we got moving averages here and here. So I'll even draw that a little lower so I can go through all four of them. So I got the 100 and the 200 on the daily and the weekly, right? So once again, weekly, daily. And I didn't fully load this pyramid yet. I think I bought a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And I was getting ready to start buying a medium amount and then a lot down here. But we never made it. So that's all good. But I still have, I think, like $4,000 or $5,000 worth of Tesla right now. And first and foremost, looking for that gap to fill. So if we get up to there, I'll probably trim a little bit, and then I'll probably try to hold the rest in case this thing wants to rip up to like 300, because man, look at that. And then this could just be the retest, and then it goes, right? Because if we look on a higher time frame, this just looks like a retest. Up, retest, run. So that is going to be a cool play for sure. Yeah, we can review ES. CES on the daily. Let's turn on the moving averages. So we didn't even get close to the 100 on ES. Yeah, we didn't even get close. So I wouldn't have played this in a swing, but on a day trading, let's take a look. So today I wouldn't trade the first hour. Then we get this. So my first trade would have been here. And let's see. We come up. So I move my stop every like 20 minutes. So we come up. I would have moved my stop there. We come down. We bounce. I would move my stop there. We chop, 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 chop. And I got stopped out here. So I lost 0.5 R here. Okay. Then we come down. I'm only looking for longs because we're above this pink line. And then here, so I'm down 0.5 R on the day. And then I get long here. This candle is crazy. I don't know, like, if that would have stopped you out or what, but yeah, that I'm not sure how that all went down. Let me take a look at the 1 minute. Yeah, I don't know if it flashed down first and then went up, or if it went up first and then flashed down. So kind of hard to tell. But yeah, boom, you would have hit target right there. I usually do about a 10 to 12 point stop. So if I had done a 12 point stop, I would have been safe. And there it goes. It's just ripping now. Ripping. So on the day, I would have been up, what is that, 0.8? And I would have been done. FOMC candle. Okay. Well, if I had known FOMC was today, I probably wouldn't have traded at all. I'll be honest. I don't trade on FOMC days. I didn't trade today. So, yeah. What did FOMC say? What was did they say they're finally cutting rates or what? I'm going to look it up. Traders await rate outlook details. Okay, so interesting. All right, well, there you have it. Now I know Amazon had earnings yesterday, and I believe they gapped down. Did they gap down? No, they didn't. Oh wait, no, they have earnings the first. Never mind. I don't know why I thought they did. But wouldn't you know it, bouncing off the blue line. This stuff works so much, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nike starting to wake up. That'll be good. Chipotle bounced right off the red line. Easy play. AMD I was in. So AMD, so this is actually a really good example to show you guys because AMD went right through both moving averages. So you're probably like, oh, Calvin, it didn't work. Well, it did though, because what I did was I drew a pyramid like this. So I got filled, but then I added even more. I just extended the pyramid down. So I added even more. My average was like here, like 146. And then today when we popped up, I thought, okay, well, if we melted through both, then we'll probably pop back up and that'll be resistance. And that's exactly what happened. We came up, I sold there, average was here. So I captured all that right there. So sometimes you just got to be patient. I didn't load that pyramid as hard. The reason I was able to do that was because I didn't load the pyramid that hard. Like usually I like try to get 100 shares, but I think between here and here, I only bought like 20 or 30 because earnings were coming up and I was scared of a gap. So by the time I got down to here, I think I only had like 35 shares. My big buy level on this was going to be down here at 120 on the weekly moving averages, but we never got there. So if this rolls over though one more time, if we get this will be a big pyramid because we're past earnings and we've got two moving averages right there on the weekly, you know, lots of activity and support down here, near 100, which is a pretty big even level. This would definitely be a 100 share pyramid for sure. I would do that, load it up, and then the bounce out to here, you know, hopefully capture 30 or 40 points, which would be like $3 or $4 grand. But probably trim on the way up too. So maybe I'll make like 2,500, just protect myself, trim and trail. So yeah. How do you manage swing trades if low pyramid and turns out stock stays down a long time? It's a good question. It's a really good question. So what I do typically is what I just showed you there on AMD. So the likelihood of it just melting down and there being no bounce. So like, I think what you're talking about is like if it just flushed and just stayed down here, right? Like forever. Well, I mean, you need to run a stop at some point. You do need to like cut your losses at some point, but I try to do this on stocks that I really like and love and that I would hold for a long time so that if that does happen, which it very rarely does, I can hold it for a year and wait for it to come up. You know, I like AMD. I think it's a really good semiconductor stock. I don't think it's going anywhere. Same thing with NVIDIA. I just did this play on NVIDIA and it's like, I don't think NVIDIA's going to go lower than this. But if it does, I'm willing to buy it all the way down into here, guys. I am. And then just hold it for a year. I am willing to do that. Straight up. I'm down to be patient. I mean, I would buy NVIDIA all the way down into here. I really would. I know some of you are like, no, you wouldn't. I would. If it kept falling and got all the way to here, I would just keep buying it and just turn it into a long-term hold position and just go work my freaking butt off at my job, get more money, and load a new account. That's what I would do. So you can say whatever you want about it. Some people are like, pyramids are stupid, they're dumb, it's not a real strategy, but I make $3,000 to $4,000 a month doing them consistently and pay my rent. So yeah. You pray, keep playing until you run out of money. Yeah, I don't know if you until you run out of money, but you just maybe until you run out of money in that account. I always have like multiple accounts going, right? Like you have to at some point you have to stop buying. Like you can't just buy, and then just like, you know, pull a loan out, buy more, like sell your house, buy more. Like at some point you need to have a limit, and you need to know in your head what that limit is. So like I said on AMD, it's 100 shares. Once I get to 100 shares, I'm just gonna stop buying, right? You tried the pyramid on Disney and it didn't work. Okay, let's see. Let's see where you tried it. Okay, so I'm assuming that you tried it here, right? Didn't work. You loaded more. Then you made your pyramid bigger, right? Down to here. And it still didn't work. And you're like, dude, what the hell? Look at the weeklies. Let's look at the monthlies. Okay, well, we're still above the 200 on the monthly, by the way. Okay. I'm assuming you did it here, right? Or did you do it back here? Anyways, here's the thing. If you did the pyramid, okay, here and here, and your average is somewhere here, and Disney comes up to here, you're going to be able to get out. And we're on a daily chart. So that looks like about 3 months that you were trapped in this position, which, you know, I mean, I guess that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Disney's a good company. I think it's going to be around for a long time. Disney, I'll be honest though, Disney is not one of those companies that I would do this on because Disney isn't really innovative. Like they don't really like they just like they're popular with kids. You know, I mean they make really good movies and cartoons and their theme parks and stuff, but Disney isn't doing anything that's like changing the world. You know what I mean? It's the same formula. Disney's been the same forever. It's a very just like whatever company to me. I know they own a lot of things, but they're not pushing the future like Apple, Nvidia. You know, like these are companies that are like really they are constantly trying to innovate, right? So, for example, if you go to Apple and throw on those moving averages on the weekly, I mean, look at this. This is so much prettier because, well, Apple's the biggest company in the world. Okay? So, you gotta pick the stocks you do on it wisely, okay? Yeah. And what I like to see too, bro, going back to Disney, is I like to see stocks making new highs. So what I mean by that is, like, you see how back here Disney had this big run and then it came down and it kind of worked there, right? Man, Disney's just a bad example. Worked off the COVID. Yeah, I think just Disney's one of those stocks that people just don't care about anymore. So this isn't going to work all the time, but I don't know. Hold Disney. Hope it works out for you. But I'm really big on tech. That's what I do it on. I really do. And like the Mag 7. You guys familiar with the Mag 7 is? The Mag 7 is Tesla, Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon. Those are the Mag 7. And this works on those stocks a lot. I mean, you can see it right there, right? Look at how many bounces we had off the blue line. bounce, bounce, bounce. Let's see if it does it here. If not there, probably the red line, right? Bounce, 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 bounce. I mean, it's just like hard to deny, you know? Very hard to deny. And I think at one point Disney was like that, right? If we back out to like the weekly chart, like Disney used to be that trending stock that just went up and up and up and up, right? Like back here, you would have been really happy doing the pyramids. And maybe Disney will get like that again one day, but right now it's having a hard time. It's having a hard time. It didn't do what everyone thought it was going to do. And it's kind of fallen behind. It's not in the Mag 7. I would stick to the Mag 7 with this. Let's look at Meta. Meta, you would have been happy doing this too. Bounce, 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 bounce. And now we're coming down to that red line. That'll be really fun to buy off of, right? So. Yeah, I know. Kept going down. Disney. Anyways, yeah. There's another day trade strategy I can show you guys if you're interested. Do you guys want to see it? Do you guys want to see my other day trade strategy? Here it is. So, I'm going to turn on the 50 EMA and VWAP, okay? And here's how the strategy kind of goes, okay? Let me find a good example of it. Okay, so I don't trade the first hour, okay? And what I'm looking for is for price to move strongly in one direction and then come up and tap VWAP and the 50 and then get rejected, okay? Let me see if I can find another example here. See how this day it just chopped all morning? You don't want that. You want it moving in a strong direction. Some of you could argue that was a strong direction, but let me show you like a really just A+ example of this, okay? This one's pretty good. So see how price is moving strong. I mean strong in one direction, right? Okay. And remember, I don't trade the first hour. Okay. So I wouldn't really count this. I mean, you could, but let's just say, for example, that you did do this. So it came down, it came up, you shorted it here, okay, and you got smoked. You're like, oh, it didn't work. But then it kept moving up, and then when it came back, you tried it again here, and this time it did work. Okay. So on the day, you'd make 0.3 Rs. Let me find another example. I want to find a really juicy example for you guys. A lot of chop there. That day didn't really work. Let's see. Okay, this is like a perfect day to show. So I didn't trade the first hour. Strong move down, came up, and you would set up a short right there. They're close together. You want them to be close together. If they're far apart, it's not as good. You want them to be close together, like double resistance. And down we went. This day, it almost worked. Came down, strong move down, came up, but we didn't quite get there. But that would have been a really good one. Let's see. So see how this day, it never even came up and touched it, or VWAP. That wouldn't have worked. This is a good day. This is a good day to do it. Strong move down. That's the key. You want a really strong move down. Comes up, taps it. They're really close to each other, and you short it. Boom. If you want to see that again, I'll just draw this for you. See that? That works great. That works great. Here's a good one. Strong move up. Strong move down. See how they're separated? You wouldn't have gotten long here. It comes down, comes up. See how they're getting closer together now? Oh, yeah. Short right in there. Boom. Target. Okay, so I don't do this strategy a ton, but it is a strategy I do sometimes. Okay. This is a day you would have gotten smoked. Comes down, comes up, you would have tried to short there, blows right through you. So it doesn't always work, but what does in trading, right? This is a good one. Comes down, strong move down. Look at that. Strong move down, comes up, taps, and you're going to short right there. Boom. So that's kind of cool. This is just choppy day. Very choppy day. This might have worked though. Hold on, because you get the strong move up, comes down. These aren't very close. And when they're not very close, I don't like it as much. But if I was going to do this, I'd put it right in the middle. I'd probably put my stop right there below the low. And target up here somewhere. You would have had to have held like all day for this one. This one didn't trade the first hour. Yeah, you never. It came back and touched it a couple times, but VWAP's so far away. I don't like that. Kind of just choppy. No strong move in the morning. Strong move up, comes down, touches the 50. VWAP's not really there. That would have worked, but that's not really my rules. Let's see this. Strong move down, make a new low. So that's a good move down, right? Then we come up, tap it. I'll do like a 50 point. I usually do like a 40 or 50 point stop. Yeah, boom. 1.3R right there. So it does work. It does work, just not all the time. Okay. Anything else you guys want me to go over here? What else do you guys want me to go over? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Type of 3 if you guys enjoy these live streams. I try to do them as much as I can. I've got a really busy schedule, but I think there's a lot of value in them. Let's go check out what NQ's doing. Hold on. NQ. Oh, it's ripping. It's ripping. Oh my gosh, this is like so cool. So cool, guys. Yeah, I think we're going to get a couple days of buying. We were really oversold. We were almost at 30 on the RSI. Nice double bottom. Now we're just ripping up. Let's see what happens. It'd be cool to see price get back up into like this area. Like right into that neckline, you know? Probably take some profits off around there. I got calls on TQQQ. I like to trade TQQQ because it's not as, the options aren't as expensive. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Fill that gap right there. And then maybe we do that. I don't know, that'd be cool. I would love for it to get down to here, buy a bunch. You do F&O as well. What's F&O? Futures and options? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I do futures and options. Let's see what else is on the old list. Oops. Man, I've been looking at Lulu. It's way down there, but it's at this support. which is also the pre-COVID high. Kind of interested. I don't know. Is it near any moving averages though? No. Ooh. See? Guys? Where's it bouncing? Near the 100. On the monthly. Pyramid. Moving average in the middle. Think about it, okay? Worst case, it comes down to here, the COVID low, which, funny we were talking about Disney earlier, because yes, Disney was a tough one to trade, but look where it bounced. Off the 200 on the monthly and near the COVID low, which is exactly where we see Lulu right now. If it wants to take a trip down here like Disney did, you'll be at the 200 and the COVID low. And I would expect a bounce to here, which would be basically a 100-point move. And if you have 100 shares, that's 10 grand. Pretty saucy. Just talking to Jeremy the other day, and he just did a massive swing on Johnson & Johnson. So on the monthly chart, he told me so you can see it bounced here, right? And when we got down here, he was like, I'm gonna put some size on. So I think he bought $250,000 worth, and it went up 10%. So he made like 20 grand. Yeah, I don't know if he's sold it yet, but sold it, paid the did the payment on his house, his big ass house in Laguna Beach, and yeah, he's chilling. So this works. This definitely works, guys. Yes, Dima, I do trade futures and options. I do. So I don't know where you're located or what you trade, but if you ever want to jump on a call, we can do that. Guys, I do coaching sessions. I do one-on-ones. It's a lot of the same thing I'm teaching here, I'll be honest, but it's a little more in detail because you can ask as many questions as you want. You can, it's recorded. We practice the same thing over and over and over and over, and I test you and I make you, make you share your chart, and you show me how you would have done things, and I critique and I tell you what to change, and I help you write, your rules down on a sheet, and I check, even after the call, I check in with you, I text you throughout the week, and I make sure you're following your plan, and you're, not being a bozo, not being an idiot, and I send you plays that I'm doing, like all the people I coach, I text them every day, and I say, hey, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. Hey, I bought here, I bought there. So it's definitely more like personalized, and you get my plays versus here you kind of get them after the fact. Sometimes I take a trade live here, like a day trade. I tried to today. I was just a little late getting on. For those of you that saw me, I was trying to get filled on this. I jumped on the live, I think right around here, and or was it over here? Man, we got close to getting filled. Oh, you know what? I think I canceled the freaking trade. Dang it. I had a trade set up right here, and I think when it ran to here, I just canceled it. I should have left it on because it would have gotten filled. But yeah, this was a 10 EMA I was thinking about doing today. Dang it. That would have worked. Yeah, when this candle came in, I just canceled the trade. I was like, oh, it's too far gone. And then this came down. Oh, man, that would have filled me. That's funny. It's kind of funny, too. I leave the 100 and the 200 up on the 3-minute chart, and it interacts with those a lot, too. It's pretty funny. Right? Look at that. It's so interesting, man. I don't usually do the pyramid strategy, by the way, in the 3-minute. I just don't. I find it doesn't work as well. But you guys can try the pyramid strategy like that as well. You know what I mean? Like, I could have totally done this. The only problem is, in Apex, is they don't like you DCAing. So if you get into a trade, I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you get into a trade and you buy like one contract, you can only DCA once. So if you want to average down, you can only average down one time when you're in the red. If you buy like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you're doing that, they will flag your account, and when you try to do a payout, they'll reject it. So can't DCA, guys, on Apex. Kind of sucks. I mean, you can. So you could do it once. So you could do, like, I could buy 1 contract here, and I could buy 2 there. But that's the extent of the pyramid I can do to abide by their rules. I can't do 1, 1, 2, you know. It's got to be just 1 ad, which is kind of lame, but whatever. Apex is still sick. I've gotten payout. I've made it to payout levels, and I got a payout there last month. It's pretty cool. So just working on getting my next one here. Made 15 hundo yesterday, which is cool. I think I just got to make it to 53,000 to pass this account. But I'm in calls. I'm in calls on QQQ, so I don't feel too much FOMO. I opened calls yesterday at the blue line. Surprise. Why would I do that? Oh, because it works a lot? Yeah, I just did this. Open some calls. You know, why not? So, yeah, guys. Got a few more minutes here. Oh, how much is the one-on-ones? I charge $300 for a 90-minute session, but we go over a lot, and we usually run over. We usually do like 2 hours, and it's all recorded, and it's awesome. If you book like multiple sessions, like if you want to book like 3 or 4, I can throw you a discount. I can get them a little cheaper for you. But it's just like anything else, guys. Like, if you want to get good at something, if you want to get in shape, right, you're going to have to spend money on supplements and protein powder and a gym membership, right, or a trainer. It's the same thing with trading. If you want to get really good at it, I mean, yeah, you could just go on YouTube for like months and months and months and months, but if you're not listening to the right people and you stumble across some bad information or get it twisted, you could lose thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars very quickly in the market. And all you had to do was pay $300 for a coaching session. You know what I mean? So it's like, I always encourage people, invest up front with trading. Don't think you're special and like, oh, well, I'm different, I'm smart, I can beat the market. Dude, I thought that for 5 years and lost a lot of money, and when I should have just invested in my education up front. And so it's important just to take your time in the beginning, get good, invest, set aside a little bit of cash, but whatever it is, okay, I'm going to take $1,000. I'm going to invest that in my education, or $2,000 and invest that in my education, and just really get dialed before you start putting on big size. Because there's a lot of people that get into trading and they've got their life savings, right? Maybe they have like $50,000 in life savings or $25,000 in life savings, and they throw it all in there and they get cooked. They get cooked. So, it's all part of the game, but I always tell people, just think about it. Think about education. It's always a good idea. You can learn from people that have already gone through the pain, so you don't have to. Every trader I know that's really, really good has like lost so much money at one point, and they're like, whoa. And that's why they learned, right? And if you want to go that route too, be my guest, but you can avoid that. That's what I'm saying. You can avoid that. There's a lot of traders that like just get the education first and they just kill it right out the gate. So it's the difference between, your mental health suffering over 5 years trying to figure it out yourself, or investing a little bit of money and, accelerating your learning curve and learning it all in 6 months and still taking some losses here and there, but nothing like crazy, just like normal, normal little growing pains. Marimar, did you trade today? And what did you trade? And how many R's did you get? Dang, look at Q's right now. Yummy. Rip City. That's what I want. That's what my calls won't. Dude, Nvidia is just like, hold my beer. 13% up today. Talk about a gap and go, right? I mean, look at this. Huge red candle. The very next day, we open above all of that. Squeezed. The bears are just squeezed today. And that's why you saw this run up, just boom, boom, boom. So cool. So cool. Yeah, it looks like yesterday it gapped down and then in the aftermarket, and then Nvidia or AMD earnings came out and it just followed suit. This is a like what's called a sympathy play. So AMD reported yesterday, they did well, so that's kind of like evidence that probably Nvidia will be. Nvidia reports a lot later than everyone else. It's kind of interesting. They don't report till the end of August. So they're kind of a wild card. They don't report when everyone else reports. Everyone seems to report around the same time, but Nvidia and a couple others are like, no, we're just going to report like a month later. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, Nvidia just kills it on every earnings. Bam, bam. Nothing really happened on this one. This one was a gap up. This one was a gap up, little one. And then this is during the bear market, so we don't really talk about that. But yeah, really cool. I do expect us to hit some resistance up in here, but there's no reason why this can't just go now again. It's rested plenty, guys. Almost a 30% pullback. That's enough. We don't need more than that. I would love for it to get down here. Oh my gosh. If it gets down here, I'm going to just put a stupid amount of money in. That'd be a 40% pullback, but we'll see. I don't know. It ran 1100%. Okay. So from here to here, it ran 1100%, which another stock that you may know did the same thing in 2020. So in 2020, Tesla ran, even more, 1,300% from the COVID low. And that was followed by, oh my gosh, look at that, a 30, this is so funny. Okay, hold on. It ran, okay, hold on, let me get rid of this. Ran, pulled back 30%. What did it touch? The blue line. That's exactly what Nvidia is touching right now. Then it ran, this is really good back testing, guys. Then it ran 35%, and then it dropped 40. So if that were to happen now, let's see. That means it would go 35% up, so tap the high, and then drop 40% to what? The red line. I mean, guys, once you understand and learn this stuff, it's just like fishing with dynamite. I love swing trading. I love it so much more than day trading, but you know, day trading's fun too. It is. You get you feel like you're a little bit more in control with day trading because it's like every night you're in cash but it's hard, man. It's hard to predict the market every day. It's much easier to predict what the market will do over a course of a month or 2 months or 3 months. So I always push people into swing trading more than day trading, but I still day trade too. I do it. I just do it more in Apex, not in my regular account. In my regular account, I'm a swing guy. Swinging long term. So anyways, guys, love y'all. And let me know if you need anything. I'll be in the Real Life Trading Slack. I'll try to get back on here tomorrow. I'm trying to do 4 to 5 days a week on here. Try Apex if you haven't yet. Use our code REAL. Go to atf.com. Sign up for one of the baby accounts, like a 25 or a 50. Get your feet wet. Try some of the things we talked about today. Or just, let it soak in. Write it down in your journal. And you can rewatch this recording. If you go to our live tab on like our lives tab on the YouTube, these should all get automatically posted in there. So anyways, hope you have a great day, and we will talk soon. Bye bye.